Happy Christmas war is over. That's Jesus.
So then the famous nativity wars.
Yeah, Blue Christmas. Obviously, that's. I don't know why. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Learn the words, and I will give you money.
More is more, rather than more is less.
And flammable is better. Now bring us a piggy birthday.
I must say, actually, that taking the licking out of this actually is a big step forward.
Is it?
Definitely. 100%.
Well, I suppose. But, you know, there's just something to be said for practicing.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Hello, welcome to a Christmas edition of the Bring Back the 80s podcast.
You wouldn't know it.
We've made it extra special for you. Extra special.
Got to hurry up because we've got some kids coming in a minute. So like that. They're the wishes for Christmas. Yeah, we're nearly at Christmas, but you watch this. What's it going to be? Sort of mid-December.
Yeah.
Which and we're filming this in February, so it feels like we're not. To be honest, stuff is getting into shops now. We are getting some things in the shops, decorations. First sort of adverts are coming out on telly and stuff, so it is feeling Christmassy now.
Yeah, we've got all the big supermarkets doing their impressive adverts, much like Woolworths did back in the 80s.
Yeah,
everybody sort of like piling in with Michael Bublé, celebrities. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Probably it. I saw the Crankies last night on sort of time. Crankies. I think. Yeah, no, I mean adverts aren't quite the same, are they, as they were? But they do stories now. You know, Save the Carrot or snowmen falling in love, not snowmen, snow people falling in love. But before it was just chuck a load of celebrities at it, spend hundreds of thousands even back then.
And they actually put them in the store, didn't they? As well, you had people like. Anita, whatever her face is,
the
one that some of the and Morecambe and Wise, and they would just be walking around Woolworths, just pointing out the Bon Tempe organs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the quality streets exploding in people's faces and stuff. So but now it's all stories, and you know you got to bring in the dog from the snow or whatever you've got to do. You got to go find someone and save someone and make them fall in love.
But to be fair, it does work for them.
Does it?
It would, I think. Okay. I think so. By the way, we haven't done our French lesson yet because we're up to edition number 11, which is
yet. Onze, deux,
deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix,
onze. I think it's onze.
Yeah.
If it's not, right in, let us know.
Can you imagine when we get to episode 100? It's going to take the whole. It's going to take the whole edition.
It won't matter. I want to be listening.
Just to it. We always like to bring a little tiny bit of education into each and every one. So
it's very important.
Just by stealth,
yeah,
we're learning French together.
It's just, once we get past the numbers we know in French, we'll start in German because I know up to at least 4 in German, and then we'll go into Pompey. Christmas it is, and we've got a load of, I was going to say tat, but it's not tat, is it? It's quality items, just to remind us all about what Christmas is like. One of the main things I've got here is an advent calendar. Well, these don't exist anymore. You have to get stuff in them.
They're full of chocolate and stuff like that. That is the world's most disappointing advent calendar.
I know.
With literally nothing behind every square.
And what happened at the end of Christmas? You closed all the windows, put it back in the loft, ready to get down the next Christmas. and it was, I don't even know, where are we now? We're not even started it yet. So but let's say, what is behind number 1? I can't even find number 1. Here we go. What is it? It's a manger. There we go.
That is quite a religious one that you've got going on there as well, because now they don't tend to be so religious, do they? They're not all...
It's not about baby Jesus now, is it? It's but it was then. It was all about baby Jesus and the Frankenstein or whatever, frankincense and mirth. And we didn't know, did we? But we sang whatever we wanted.
Nobody knew what myrrh was. This was
I don't know what frankincense.
This was the thing. You know, we were taught the story, but none of us ever actually knew what those gifts were that were brought to the little baby Jesus.
No. The chemists didn't even know what frankincense and gold we knew because the Nescafe. produced
Cafe Gold, yeah.
So we were like, coffee after that long walk with the three wise men. They're going to need that. So yeah, and myrrh. I mean, I don't know.
What the hell is myrrh? What is myrrh?
I think it's probably a jewel or something. But yeah, every one of those would either be baby Jesus, a donkey, a robin, an angel, or probably a cross. No, probably a cross isn't right. But something like that. And it was, sometimes you get those ones where you would pull underneath the cardboard and the legs and the arms would go out. It'd be like a Jolly Santa. Do you remember? It was all out of card and you pull it and you go, and that's like, wow, it's moving. So that's as animated as it all got. But yeah, these days it's chocolate and Lego. And if you don't spend, I don't know, £5 plus on an advent calendar, kids aren't interested, are they?
You also look forward to the number 24 as well, because that was the one with the slightly bigger door to open. If you were lucky enough to have chocolates in there, it would be a very slightly bigger chocolate.
Well, these days they get like a full-size Mars bar in it or something, and it's not, is it? It's like a fun-sized Mars bar that we had inside. So, but yeah, Lego ones and stuff like that, £25 for an advent calendar. You can do one. I'm not getting you a £25 advent calendar, because all they do is they make them on the day. And then at the end of it, they're not interested. Mostly because my kids are 17 and 20. So
it's not quite as exciting as it was.
Dad. No. It's about making stuff with your daddy in the mornings. Now get up. It's 1 PM.
It was a magical time as well. We were all quite, we were very pleased with our little advent calendars.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of little Christmas traditions going on. You don't get so many carol singers coming around and knocking at the door now, do you?
No. I used to go carol singing every Christmas because I was in Portsmouth Cathedral Choir, because as you can tell, I'm very angelic. And I used to go around with a load of old folk around Havant. We had weapons, and we would go and sing to all the rest homes and care homes and stuff. And the latest time I've ever seen carol singers was about 2002, 2003. And I opened the door and there were like two lads there. We wish you a Merry Christmas, wish you New Year, and just held their hands out. I said, lads, learn the words and I will give you money. And the next night, now bring us a figgy birthday. They had the whole bloody verse sorted.
Fantastic.
$5 each. Next night, about 8 of them turned up. I said, piss off. Come on, you're taking the piss. They went, yeah, sorry, mate. And all walked off. They went up for $5 each. We're going to do some sort of anthem, chorus, little bridge verse.
You used to get the local choir would come around as well. And people ringing bells, I seem to remember as well. They would do bell ringing at Christmas. Yeah. That sort of thing that ever happens anymore.
I mean, you wouldn't answer the door now, because you've got the Ring doorbells. So you'd be like, Ibiza, can you just sing it? I'm on the beach at the minute. Just sing it through here, mate.
You could have a little terminal on the door, couldn't you? So that they can then touch the phone and you can donate money to them via the phone if you were that way inclined.
But yes, that's the problem now, isn't it? Same with Jehovah's Witnesses. You ring the door and they just see, and it's like, no. I mean, you see them in the cassocks and stuff. You're like, no thanks.
No thanks.
But yeah, I do quite like that. I'm sure they still do it in some countries. The
depends whereabouts in this country you are as to whether they would.
I bet they do it in Hampstead.
Yeah, I bet
they all get together wandering around Hampstead. But yeah, you walk around where I grew up, and it doesn't matter if you collect money, you're not ended up on the round with that money still. That's the problem.
Definitely. Can I just say as well, thank you to everybody who's been listening to the podcast. We always ask you, if you've enjoyed this podcast, just to share it with one other person you think that might like it.
Yeah.
We've now gone VIP as well. We were saying Patreon last week. It's not Patreon at all.
Too difficult.
Too difficult. So we've gone with Spotify. So if you want some extra editions, this edition we're going to stop after about 40 minutes. Yeah. Then we carry on with a special VIP edition. If you would like to step behind the velvet rope with us at the end of this edition, if you just go to the website, it'll tell you how you can subscribe for the price of a fancy cup of Christmas pumpkin spice latte, isn't it? That's all it is.
And get a Brucey bonus. You get your Brucey bonus, and we'll usually do another 20-25 minutes, don't we? And we will be doing an extra episode every month as well along the way, especially starting over the Christmas period.
And we keep talking about maybe next year doing a live podcast.
We keep talking about it.
Keep
saying, please don't.
It's going to be. It might be. But if you are one of our VIP subscribers, you would definitely have early access to that. If you fancy coming to see how this magic if you could see behind the scenes.
It's about 4 hours prep and an hour of this. So that's what it'll be. You'll get to watch us stress about putting all this together. There won't be any tinsel because we'll probably do it in the summer. But yes. So all of that covered. Now I have got a T-shirt this time because people said, "Oh, why didn't you have the T-shirts on display?" So we have got some T-shirts in all sizes now, even in smalls, because some lady said that I'm small.
You want small?
Got offended
Okay.
by me saying no, putting down the smalls, but they're small, and we mustn't forget that.
There we go. So that's a prize that is on offer for the mystery sound as well. Let me repeat last week's mystery sound before we go any further.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
A dong.
No, Don. So for reasons of timing, we will have to let you know who has won that at the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
But we can reveal that was the Fisher-Price Garage.
Yeah, of course
that
it was.
Everybody
The
had.
lift, wasn't it?
It was the lift
winding
going up, and we did say, we gave a clue. We said it had appeared in a previous episode.
Yeah.
So if you were that dedicated that you went scooting back through all the previous, so you're even sadder than we are to do that. But the winner of the mystery sound will be announced and put up in lights on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube at the end. So that means that one's gone, but we've got a brand new one for you.
Okay.
I thought as it was Christmas, in the run up to Christmas, I would take just a little tiny clip of a Christmas song, the teeniest, tiniest clip.
Yeah.
And there's been some research done, and they reckon that you can tell what a song is with in 10 milliseconds of hearing a song. So you just hear one little tiny bit of a song.
If you know the song.
If you know the song, obviously. So we're going to put that to the test as well. I think this is quite an easy one.
Okay.
But James, you've not heard this yet, so I shall let you be the judge of this.
Thank you. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to let us know what that is, bring back the 80s podcast at gmail.com.
Wow.
Or on Twitter. Or on all the other social channels, apart from Threads.
Yeah, of course. We stay away from that. That's unraveled.
We are not on Threads.
No, we're not doing
but we're on everything else.
Yeah.
So we'll do a random draw, and it'll be either one of those fancy Bring Back the 80s T-shirts.
Yes.
In
indeed.
small, if you want a small.
If you want a small, not at
have a
Christmas
small.
time.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, God.
Never buy
No.
clothes that fit you now
No.
to wear for Christmas.
Box them away. Put them away. If you buy them small, don't wear them in December.
Just size one up if you're pre-ordering now. So if if you're lucky and you are a small, tell us you're a medium, and we'll send you a medium, and then you will grow into it in time for Christmas.
It's always the way.
Yeah.
It's always the same. Now, talking about the lift sound, it's quite classic because that does remind me of the biggest, best Christmas film of all time, The Lift, with Bruce Willis, of course, and Die Hard. And that is obviously I've got the T-shirt here with Nakatomi Plaza, and obviously down the lift is a classic "Ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun," which we all know is the most favourite Christmas movie phrase of all time. So yeah, I mean, there's always that big argument, and of course it's set at Christmas, so it's Christmas. It's a Christmas film. Home Alone, that's a kid getting abandoned by his parents.
Well, do you know, this is interesting. Home Alone, I double-checked on the date of Home Alone, 1990.
Yeah.
But I think, can we put it in as an 80s? Can we have it as an 80s?
Well, I think...
It's got an 80s feel to it.
The kids are definitely grew up in the 80s. The whole vibe is 80s. It's not an 80s film, but it is definitely got that 80s vibe to it. You know, everything is New York is everything about New York, and everything about his house in Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are all 80s vibe. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's got that same, you grew up in the 80s, that all feels very familiar to you.
And what we want to know as well, it's the age-old question with the Home Alone house, where the guy takes everybody on, on holiday. What the hell was his job to enable him, A, to live in a house that was that massive, and B, to be able to fly his entire family of friends and hangers-on out to another place, or with nobody. What was he, like a secret drug lord or something?
I think it's a pimp.
Yeah, maybe. So so we're going to do I think what we could do today is we could theme this. I've actually got some Christmas movie clips.
Okay.
Some of them are not necessarily about Christmas, but they are ones that come around on the TV every time.
Okay.
So I thought today, these are in no particular order. And I cannot tell you which one's going to come first, but we could kind of by the end of this edition, we could perhaps come up with a top 5 of the best 80s Christmas movies.
Crikey.
So let's go with the first one and see how we get on with this one.
Billy Pelser has a nice home, a nice job, a nice girl.
If you're not doing anything this Thursday night, maybe you'd like to go out on a date with me?
And loving parents who are about to give him
You're gonna like this. No, don't shake it. We're gonna have to open it now. It won't wait till Christmas.
the most unusual gift he ever got.
What is it?
It's your new pet.
There we go. So,
Okay.
Gremlins.
Yes, of course.
In the top 5, would you say?
Christmas movie?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's a Christmas
I thought
movie.
he was setting Christmas. That scared the bejeebers out of me when that came out. I think I was only, I don't know, about 10 when that came out, maybe? Is that not 85?
It was, I can tell you exactly when that came out. That came out, well, now you're making me look at the screen. I can't do
I
this.
think it's around that.
Yes,
And
80
it's
sometime,
very-
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 1984.
Oh, damn it. 1 year out. That just scared me. I was 8 or 9 years old then. And I definitely don't remember it being Christmas. A Christmas film might be set in Christmas, a bit like Die Hard, but they didn't thrust it. Well, apparently just got the bloody Christmas gift there, of course. But yeah, it was scary, wasn't it?
Do you know who was the executive producer on that film?
Spielberg?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
He was the king of films back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think that did they even have merch off the back of it? I don't remember having loads of Gremlin toys at my mates' houses and stuff. They had Gremlin sticker albums and they had Gremlin annuals.
They hadn't quite worked out that the big money was in the crap rather than the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It didn't stick in my mind. I didn't linger too long on it because it started with whatever his name was. What was that?
The kid.
No, the little fluffy
Gremlins.
one. Yeah, no, but what was it called? That was the name of the fluffy cute one.
Oh, I don't know.
Mogwai or Magli or something. I don't know. It wasn't Mowgli. No, but it was something like that.
He was only saying the bare necessities.
Screaming at me now. Yeah, that's it. The Jungle Book merged into one. But then it went into the evil little shaven ones with the horrible big ears that used to attack the cat and dog and stuff.
Well, that's because he fed them after midnight. So he knew, first of all, he
Got
knew
them wet.
You mustn't get them wet.
Yeah.
So they obviously put water on them to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And then he knew that even no matter how much they whinged that they wanted something to eat, you must never feed them after midnight.
No, that's true. Just over your shoulder there, the classic thing of fruit pastel tube was one thing that I remember getting in our stocking, actually talking about after midnight. Big tubes of sweets, big tubes of fruit pastels, tubes of Smarties, but big tubes like that. And they still do those, but have you noticed what's wrong with these fruit pastels now?
Yeah, I've noticed exactly.
Because they don't taste the same, Andy. And do you know why?
Because they are vegan friendly.
Now, God love the vegan, okay? I love flowers, but it knackers it. It knackers it up because it doesn't have that same gelatinous
chewiness, the chewiness, the cartilage of
and I don't, have a vegan fruit pastel, but don't make me have a vegan fruit pastel. I don't know. It's like when you walk into a cake shop and I go, have you got any fudge cake? And they go, yeah, and it's vegan. I go, well, you haven't got fudge cake then, have you?
No.
Because I'm going to eat it and it's going to taste like a doorstop. I just want something that's actually got everything that makes it. Have you got any bikes? Yeah, but they got no wheels. It's not a bike then, is it? It just give me the fruit pastels are they're sticky, but they're not chewy anymore. They just sort of
got a raw texture
across your teeth.
Yeah.
And I'm whinging already, but I've got classics here. I've got a classic selection pack of Cadbury's there, and that has got Fruit and Nut, Double Decker, Dairy Milk, Fudge, Flake, Whisper, Crunchy, Curly Whirly, all full size in there, and that was £1.49. Saying that's a lot of money.
But the thing is that Curly Whirly would last you probably a month. You could never. They were so chewy.
You made to hold the edge.
They were that long, and they literally would last you. You could never eat a whole Curly Whirly in one go.
Well, I could. But Exhibit A. But yeah, and you've got one behind you as well with the Rolo's Lion Bar. That's the Mars equivalent. Mars? Nestle? I can't remember the two. Anyway, Nestle. Or Nestles, as we called it back then. So yeah, loads of chocolate. And we've got here
You've got a very posh one up the top for James.
Well, the
as well.
Harrods one.
Yeah.
That's Harrods. I've got this Christmas snowman. That's the Mars one. Look.
I can't help but
Even in the
notice that
puzzle.
the Mars are actually not in there, though.
No, none of them are in there because it's 40 years old, mate. So, oh, that's good.
There we go. Now we're okay. Oh,
no,
nice.
he's pissed. But yes, Harrods, the Harrods Christmas gift box, and obviously Quality Streets. And on your side, you've got the Halfords Christmas gift guide.
Who would not want a gift from Halfords?
Who wants the trolley jack? I don't know what they've got in there, but what a load of nonsense to get a Christmas gift guide from Halfords. I don't even think they'd try that on now. Halfords for the Christmas gift
I don't know, but it would be ironic, wouldn't it? If they did it? It would definitely.
What are you going to get?
Definitely be
your husband
irony
for
going on
Christmas?
in there.
Yeah.
But so should we do another Christmas movie?
Yeah,
so
go on.
you were definitely ruling out the Gremlins is not
Yeah, it's not even top 10.
not in the top. Blimey, okay. harsh. Here comes our next movie clip.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A.
California.
Is Daddy coming home soon? Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay?
And New York cop John McClane has come to see his wife.
I missed you.
Instead, he's going to
Spoiler alert.
save her. Within this skyscraper high above the city, 12 terrorists have declared war.
We do it the hard way.
Now, the last thing McClane wants
Think, damn it, think.
is to be a hero.
Where's Howie? Hey, Tucker! Where?
But he doesn't have a choice.
Lift.
What does he think he's doing?
How about that?
Yeah. That's. I mean, if that's the trailer, that basically tells you the story.
It does tell you the whole story. In those days, we needed to be spoon-fed the whole
No
thing.
imagination. And that was actually his first significant film role. Alan, what's his name?
What's his face?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Not Bruce Willis. The first time I saw him as a kid in Moonlighting on the TV.
Oh my God,
And then I
yeah.
saw him in this and thought, hang about, what's he doing on the big screen? So he was on TV all the time as then turned up as McClane. Alan.
That thing.
That's kinda annoying me
Yeah.
now. Obviously, TV. Got the Radio Times here from 1987 with EastEnders now, but Squarecast on it, bless them, with their tree. This tree behind me, I think, is classic. It's a classic 80s one. It's quite sparse. Colourful lights. None of
Many
this white,
colours.
None of this white or blue bollocks.
You want like the rest of the decor in here.
Colourful.
As many colours as possible.
Yeah.
No theme to it whatsoever. It's basically the least taste possible.
Yes.
In decorations, more is more rather
Yeah.
than more is less.
And flammable is better.
Oh my God! Yes.
The foil and paper and non-pat tested lights and lots of plugs, lots of adapters hanging out of plugs.
Oh, yeah.
And that would add extra lights, of course, because it would be sparking behind the adapter all the time.
In my house, I remember that we actually used to plug one of the Christmas trees used to go into the light bulb socket. On the,
Oh, God,
on
yes.
the ceiling.
I remember that.
And you can buy those adapters in Woolies.
Yeah.
And you can actually plug things in, just surprising that we didn't all burn down. But I love the Radio Times as well, because we were mentioning this the other day. Back in the days of just BBC One, BBC Two, they used to have live continuity announcers in between the programmes.
Yeah.
So there'd be somebody in vision sitting there, because people were physically playing tapes, really, weren't they?
Yeah.
Spools of tape. And sometimes, quite often actually, that would go wrong. And it would be the job of the continuity announcer to fill for time. And he would literally do this.
Yeah, have a little look. 10:30 a.m. We've got Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And Blankety Blank with Les Dawson. Frank Carson's on. Samantha Fox, of course she is. Little and Large and Wendy Richard. I mean, Jesus, this is a classic, isn't it? What have we got on Christmas Day radio? Christmas Day, we've got Miss Marple, Obs, Only Fools and Horses, Just Good Friends, EastEnders, Educating Rita, on at 10:40, of course, because that is filth. We've got Noel Libman's Christmas Morning, Top of the Pops Christmas Party, Annie the musical, This Is the Day Unto Us a Child is Born. I mean, you wouldn't get that on TV now, would you?
No.
They'd set fire to the telly if there's anything religious on Christmas
The
Day.
thing is, apart from that last thing with the religious stuff that nobody ever really wanted to watch, that's not actually a bad lineup. I would watch that now.
Well, they put it on now.
Stand
That's the problem. You put on TV these days, and they've got 80 stuff on because a lot of the stuff since is not as good. There are obviously I'm generalising. There's some absolutely awesome films that have been on since then, but they do tend to put on 80s films. It's only recently they stopped playing Superman 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever it was. They used to always whack that on.
Yeah.
Superman.
It was the standard fillers, and it's almost become like a tradition that all the, whether or not it's a Christmas movie, we would expect the same old things to come round and round again. Yeah. And it's we kind of almost miss it now when it doesn't come round relentlessly.
Well, I think I go through all the channels, like Ham out of Toy Story, just flicking through the remote, trying to find something good. But Christmas, actually, that those times are the ones where between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, all the traditional channels, 1, 2, 3, 4, have got decent stuff on. They've got good, well-produced, nicely done, Christmassy feel programs and films, haven't they?
Yeah.
And that's the one time of year where they're actually going to come good.
It's interesting as well, because that kind of thing of where you would go through the Radio Times.
Be careful with that.
And you would be, it's worth it. How much is this worth?
Absolutely mental money.
You would go through. I'll do this.
Hoarding's good, guys. Hoarding's good.
If you got a biro, James, I'll go through and circle some things here.
Well, there's a new World of Butlins advert on the back, so if you want to cut out that little coupon for your little summer holiday, it's a new World of Butlins, everybody. Have you heard of it before? Yeah.
Introducing Butlins Holiday Worlds with magnificent water playgrounds among the biggest in Europe.
Well, among them.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
A world of difference. A family of 4 can experience all this from as little as £95.
Wow. Who doesn't
take one of our self-catering apartments?
Really? Take your own food, and it's basically £500 for a week. Not changed much, has it? Yes. Would you like to go into my special lunchbox?
Yes, I would like to, because I missed it last time.
Last week we didn't bring the lunchbox, and we didn't bring the T-shirts. Anyone will think it was the first time we were in the studio. Happy South.
Thank you very much indeed.
Across to me.
Oh, I'm destroying the set as we go. He loves an atmosphere, doesn't he?
Yeah, talking of party for the happy atmosphere. This is very 80s to get the Christmas mood going.
So now we are talking.
Here we go. Help yourself.
Now we're bloody talking with this, aren't we? Yeah, please do.
So we've got, for those who are just listening and missing out on this Technicolor glory, I've got a baby sham for each of us. To see if I can get it heard. Oh, hello. Yes. That worked perfectly, didn't it? And that is one thing. I'll leave it to open it. There's too much electronics around. The logo hasn't changed a bit. Nothing. And I know a lot of people say it's very 60s, very 50s, actually 70s. But it's, and in there also, it's paper chains. Because
cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Christmas.
Yeah, happy Christmas. We've got some paper chains, but can you see the difference between the paper chains of the old days and the paper chains now? They're about offside of the size. Everything's got smaller since the 80s, so you link them all together. Of course, you used to do it in school. Do you remember they'd make you do it in the lessons?
Oh God, long way after you'd done the wrapping.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Pasta to the card to make a shape of an owl. But have you seen the message on the front? It says to keep chains up longer, press tape stronger.
What is that all about?
Just stick it together, mate. That's what it should say. But yeah, so we can make them as we're chatting, make some change for the day, because we haven't got enough decorations up at the minute. You need to just all do red together, try and mingle them all up. Anyway, I haven't ever had a baby sham. Do you know that?
Never in your life?
No, it's short for little champagne. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, now you remember licking these in the past?
Yeah, I know. We can't do that now, health and safety.
We can't do how do they stick
You have to peel it off.
God, come
How long
on.
is this going to take? Yeah, you did. You're right. You'd have to lick it.
You'd lick it,
Stick
yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
Have you got to peel?
You've got to peel every single one now.
Yeah. I mean, Christmas will be come and gone by the time we get much of that.
See, this is one of those. This is one of those things where this would not have the patience to do.
See, this is why they have child labour. Have we got any of those kids queued up outside?
I want somebody somebody in China with dexterous small fingers to assemble these for me.
The ones who make those iPhones, they could be coming in and doing this.
They could,
and that is not exploitative. They already do that, so that's not us saying that.
Look at this, I've done 2 already.
Yeah, but they're both red, Andy. It's not very colourful, is it? But
what's the rest of the package on it? Yeah, thank you.
So this was indicative of Christmas decorations. That was your lot, wasn't it? You get them and some foil, And but it was, you know what? It was a nice got a community spirit. You were making stuff at home. You'd sit in the lounge and you'd make a fresh load of Christmas decorations. You'd do it in the classroom, and you would all achieve something. A couple hundred meters of paper.
I must say, actually, that taking the licking out of this actually is a big step forward.
Is it?
Definitely. 100%.
Well, I suppose. But, you know, there's something to be said for practicing. It's another thing in maybe not in the classroom, but it's something that you could certainly benefit from doing lots of. But then maybe would kids know how to lick now that envelopes are a thing of the past?
No. And the thing is, though, as well, who knows what was in the adhesive?
Oh well,
it would be a whale, like you say, whale blubber.
Well, it's not. This is why they've done this. It's not vegan.
Oh, look at what I've done here.
Phallic. You've done a phallic one. I'm doing it really well.
You're doing very well indeed.
Say I'm pretty clever at this sort of stuff. I found my calling finally. But yeah, so do you know what I mean though? As a class, when you were making these, you felt like you'd achieved something when you had 100 foot of bloody paper chains, you strung them across the classroom, the teacher was just sat in the corner having a fag, and you're just making Christmas. You really felt like Christmas had arrived.
Absolutely.
No lessons, make some decorations. And you would have a chance to decorate the classroom. That would crop up from time to time. You get some little bits to hang around the chalkboard or whatever, a bit of tinsel. And you felt like you'd done something. If Babycham is actually nice, I wish I'd drunk it when I was in the 80s. Well, I couldn't have done it in the 80s. So 9 years old getting hammered.
It's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad at all.
But it does. Obviously, we're joking about this being a grotto, and it is very grotto-esque. But I don't. Now it seems to be a community thing where the local volunteers of the town put together a grotto, or it's a charity grotto.
You always got a van that comes around with massive speakers, haven't you? Like a sleigh, like a
They grab all the kids, lob them in the back, and you never see them again. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a Land Rover pulling a trailer. With
That's always, yeah.
But it's raising money, and that it used to be weirdly more capitalist in the 80s than now. Now it's like, it's for the community, we're raising money. In the 80s it was, come on in, we'll give you a quid toy, and you've got to spend lots of money in store, queue up, buy stuff. Saying that, the toys were sometimes quite good. Early 80s, I remember getting some half decent stuff from Santa's Grotto. Grottos were so extensive. You know, Debenhams all out. I've got a badge here saying, I've seen Lampport's Father Christmas. I mean, it was an event. To be able to go, Lampport's was where Debenhams was in the middle of Commercial Road, right? I've got another one down here. We met at Debenhams. Another badge. You'd get a badge, you'd queue for half an hour, winding your way through all the grotto queue to get to see Santa. And you'd open it up and it would be bloody brilliant. Now, it just seems to be, we're trying to rebuild the Scout hut, and here comes Santa on a trailer, and you know it's not Santa because he talks like Arcala or whatever it is.
And it was always so
Arcala? Is that the one? Probably not.
So disappointing when you actually realise that Santa might be somebody that you know.
Yeah, and especially when you've seen your uncle growing his beard throughout August, September, and it gets to Christmas, and he looks very authentic, but still very much like Uncle Bob. But yeah, so yeah, grottos. I think grottos were a massive investment, and it's a big loss. I wonder if even the remaining John Lewis's department stores have grottos anymore. Mind you, our kids a little bit more cynical now.
I think so. I think the thing is, it used to be a big thing to go. You would have a day out. Your day out would be to go to the grotto, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The whole thing would be to go to
walk around, see all the window displays. Yeah. Now the biggest window displays I see tend to be in like hair salons and beauty salons, and they've got all their windows really glamorous and sexy. But now you go to, I mean, it's difficult for Poundland to put on a big display in the window, isn't it? Because they're going to hang their dog food and socks. I mean, you can't really, there's nothing really to put on display in a big window. But now Woolies are gone, and Debenhams, and a lot of John Lewis, and even places like Laura Ashley's. You got Next, I suppose, and places like that. But they don't want to go into that sort of investment of grottos. But the Woolworths windows were always, the moving characters.
Yes, animatronics. Yeah, it'd be very, very slow. And they would used to put the window displays together behind sort of like, they would blank out the windows, especially some of the other big department stores.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the bigger ones in London.
Yeah.
And it would actually make it onto the TV when they, revealed
it was a big event.
their Christmas displays.
Yeah. I don't think I ever went to London until I got to be a grown-up. And now we go in most years with my kids. I say my kids are too old, really, but they love Christmas like me. But yeah. And obviously, I've got an advert here, a classic advert, Woolies advert, talking of Woolies, where it says, buy someone you love blank tapes for Christmas. Hopefully, you see that with a Santa and a 6-pack, a 5-pack of tapes for £3.80. So I always felt a bit wrong if I hadn't got any blank tapes in my stocking. It's a weird thing, but that was a classic gift for young people.
So they could record the top 40 off the radio on a Sunday afternoon.
Which was Killing Music.
Killing Music. Home taping is Killing Music. Let's take a break for another classic Christmas movie as well.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
This year, let Chevy Chase light up your holidays. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
And the thing is, on that, there's a line that I've never noticed before. Nothing like getting sap all over your sweater. Now,
who says that?
That was the girl who says that to the their younger brother.
Yeah.
And to me, no.
There's a lot of stuff that the ladies said back then because the producers and directors thought it was hilarious and it was totally inappropriate. This was on telly actually the other night, a couple of nights ago, and I used to watch National Lampoons and all that sort of stuff when I was a kid, but this sort of passed me by a little bit. And it is good. It is good fun. I mean, it's bloody mental, obviously, but there's some moments where Chevy Chase is just hilarious.
He is so good.
In the loft, there's a moment in the loft where I almost had a hernia, I think.
He gets locked in the loft, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you haven't ever seen this movie,
Spoiler alert.
He gets locked in the loft, and it's very, very cold indeed.
Yeah, but just as he's working his way across, I mean, I was just in bits, and there's very little things that make me laugh. Maybe when I play stuff back, I say. But it's, but yeah, it is a good one. Top 5, probably not. How many of these have you got? Because I don't know how many in the top 5.
Are you going to put that in the top 5?
No.
You're not going to put that in the top 5?
No, I don't think so. It's quite tricky for me to have to. I don't know. I'll let you know at the end. Now, that's what I call music. Christmas. That's what I call Christmas.
Wow.
This is possibly the most Christmas album you're ever going to get because you've got everything that every shop plays. And they don't play the original, obviously, because they can't buy the rights to it or whatever. They have to have some sort of lift version of it. So I'll run through it. Do They Know It's Christmas? A classic. I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, of course. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah. Last Christmas, of course. Step Into Christmas, Elton John, of course. My Goldfield, Do Change Jubilee. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that one, yeah. No.
Another Rock and Roll Christmas, Gary Glitter.
Oh, no, you've ruined it for us all now.
Yeah, we don't play that. Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. Blue Christmas by Shakin' Stevens. Obviously, John and Yoko, Happy Christmas. I Believe in Father Christmas, Greg Lake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I probably recognise it. A Spaceman Came Travelling by Krista Berg, that's his other hit. Stop the Cavalry, Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys, Thank God It's Christmas by Queen, Lonely This Christmas Mud, When a Child Is Born by Johnny Mathis.
Oh, this is proper Christmas, isn't it? Isn't this proper Christmas? I mean, say your Mariah Carey and co and Michael Bublé, fine, but this.
Bing Crosby, White Christmas. I mean, that is a classic. Unless you're going to have Russ Abbott, I Love a Party album.
He loves an atmosphere as well.
Well, he does. He loves a party with a happy atmosphere, I think you mean. Yeah.
He loves a party with a happy atmosphere. All Night Holiday.
Of course. Yeah.
And the classic Let's Go to the Disco.
Oh, God. We always sang that. So that's more of a New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You don't get that out on Christmas Day. You stick with Mike Oldfield.
Oh, he's done a version of YMCA on this as well.
Of course he has, bless
Look at
him.
that.
So, yes, if you didn't get that album out New Year's Eve, was it really a party? That's what you'll ask yourself.
Definitely not. Let's do another TV clip because there is at least one more to come.
Okay.
Let's see if this
How
one.
am I going to do a top 5? I only played 3.
Let's see if this will go in.
Criminal's worst nightmare. A cop who enjoys the danger.
No guns, no jujitsu, just bring him down. Do you really want to jump?
Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What the...
He was ready to retire. Now, he's gonna wish he had.
Gun!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner?
Too old for this.
Have you ever met anybody you didn't kill? Well, I haven't killed you yet.
So is that going in?
For a Christmas film?
Is that in or out?
No, that's not in.
Oh, come on, James. These are
You have me some weapon as a Christmas
these are the films that come round relentlessly at Christmas time. This was maybe I should have done a caveat at the beginning.
Yeah.
Some of these are not necessarily set at Christmas.
No.
Some of these are not necessarily about Christmas, but they are on TV
Die Hard
every single Christmas.
is out of all the ones we've seen today, Die Hard is without doubt the head and shoulders above all the others for a Christmas feel, because it's people argue about it, but it is based at Christmas and everything around them is Christmas. You got snow, you got the party, you got the ho 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 Santa hat, everything's festive. So yeah, that's got to be the leader. I didn't even know Mel Gibson. Lethal Weapon was at Christmas. Is there any Christmas trees in it?
Did you know what? If we go through it in fine detail,
we'd probably be dragging out. We'd probably find that somewhere.
So that's another one that's not. I'm not actually doing very well with the top 5 today at all.
I'll pick the next one.
There is one more to come. So maybe that'll make it.
Yeah.
So we took what we could get at the time, as with just the 3 or 4 TV channels.
Yeah.
What you were given was what you got. There was no going through Netflix. There was no going through Amazon Prime movies to try and find it. To be honest, when you go through all those now, you still end up with the same classics that we were served back then.
And you don't get, in the Radio Times and stuff like that, you don't really get all the listings of every channel anyway. So if you went round putting lines next to all of them, you'd have to have a bloody directory of them. And yeah, you're right. You go through and you find, oh yeah, good, Comedy Central. Oh look, it's got Only Fools and Horses or whatever. So it's not you.
Yeah.
The Snowman, was it Snowman? Alan Jones walking in the air. That was a classic 80s one. I mean, it's an extended cartoon, wasn't it? It wasn't really a film. But yeah, I tell you what, the TV stuff that I remember as a kid, late on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, was they would always roll out a TV show that started with an audience with. It would be one of those, and they were classics. I remember the Billy Connolly one, which I got allowed to stay up and watch part of. And I was probably only 10 or 11, and I was pissing myself. It was the one where he's getting the black and white suit with the pink, a lot of pink, much like our set, of course, based around Billy Connolly. Same sort of humour. And it was just unbelievable. But you would have, Jimmy Tarbuck or Dame Edna Everage, or maybe even someone like Elton John or something. But yeah, an audience with was one of those specials that they would do around Christmas.
Yeah, it's bizarrely as well. They always used to have a circus on at Christmas. There would always be a circus
in London
on the TV.
Oh God, yes.
There would be a circus.
Wow.
You would never ever see a circus on the TV other than at Christmas.
That's very true. I'd forgotten all about
always
that.
A circus. And if looking back at it, it was probably full of kids, deprived kids, and it was probably their day out, and they'd all be driven by the London taxi drivers to see the circus or something.
Yeah.
But there must have been a justification for it, because you would never ever see a circus on TV other than at Christmas time.
I wonder if it was a quiet spell for the Christmas tent. Nobody's going out in the middle of the local common, are they, on a windy December?
They probably filmed it in, August or so, didn't they?
Maybe.
Much like this edition here.
Yeah. But yeah, that's true, actually. Daft things would be put on TV, wouldn't they, as well? Mustn't forget that. As well as all the lengthy adverts and the classic films, you would get some odd stuff as well. So what was your routine on a Christmas day then? Back in the day?
Back in the day, it would be waking up to a stocking.
Yes, of course.
Full of presents. And I don't know whether it was just a thing that we did in our family, but for stocking fillers, I used to get the same stocking fillers every single year.
Oh.
every single year. So I would get some pencils with my name on it.
Oh, yeah.
I would get a little donkey thing where you stuck your thumb up its...
Yeah.
It was a thing and it would make it go like this.
The collapsible
The collapsible thing. So I would
push it in, it would collapse.
Get one of those every year.
Right again.
Yep.
Funnily enough, similar things happen now if you get your finger up and it collapses and goes back up again. How weird this thing changed. It's my donkey.
Again, it's we're learning, ready for the future without realising it. I always used to get a little Cadbury's chocolate machine as well.
Oh,
and it would dispense
2p ones.
The 2p ones, and it would the single Cadbury's chocolates.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they did different in the mix, but those single chocolates, oh my God.
And you could get the money out of the bottom, couldn't you, and start again?
And so I'll go round again.
But the problem is, you ran out of the little chocolates, and those chocolates weren't always available to buy. It was always a bit different.
It was only at Christmas, wasn't it? And then, then the machine would get put away. I don't know what happened because I'm thinking about it. I used to get the same stuff every year.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it was all recycled. And I was given last year's.
Well, we did
next year.
We did just talk to my eldest about, because we still. Just out of irony more than anything, to give him a stocking every Christmas, and he's 20 in February, and we did just recently find a bag full of Christmas presents, little Christmas presents he has not yet done anything with under his bed. So we did just say that we may just wrap them up and give them back to him again, and he just smirks, but I don't think he'd realise.
It was always an annual as well, or a Guinness Book of World Records was a big.
Oh God, bloody hell, yes,
a big thing to.
That was like £10, hefty.
Yeah.
So you get a stocking. Would you get fruit in it? Because our parents always got fruit in their stockings, didn't they?
I think we used to get marzipan fruit.
Yeah,
it's a little thing of the marzipan sweetie things.
Yeah.
That look like fruit, but were just made of sugar and
I would get a big tube with the fruit pastels in there. Sometimes I would get the big pencil case pencil, shaped as a pencil, with a zip around top, and he'd open it up, put pencils inside and close it and zip it round.
I can smell it now. I can smell it,
And it would sometimes be like from Mallorca or something like or would have a clown on it or something freaky. And always compasses, Helix
compass set
and moose sets in there. And a little cuddly toy in there of some kind just to pack it out because they were next to no money and stuffed it a bit bigger. But yeah. So what would you do then after opening a stocking? Would you stay at home or would you go travelling?
No, I would always stay at home.
Did you?
Always stay at home.
We
never went out. Never went out. People would come to us.
Oh yeah.
And now because we used to live in it was my mum and dad. My mum's mum and dad as well, and then we would have relatives come over, and so they actually played it quite well. Actually, so that no going out, everybody came to us.
That's lucky. We were always on the move, like travellers. We would go to. Obviously we'd get up, open a few presents. It's just me and my mum. Then we'd go to my granny's, where my great grandmas and my granddad and their dogs and stuff, and the cat. And we would open some more. Then we'd have dinner. Then we'd go on to my great aunt's, where the whole chuffing family was, like dozens of people, all my old cousins and aunties and Christ knows who. And we'd open all the next presents then. And my great aunt's Christmas tree was always magical because we'd get the little flat chocolates, wouldn't we? And probably when you were a kid, there'd be like proper candles on the tree and stuff. But we had all the fairy lights and things. We'd have the flat Cadbury chocolates hanging from the tree, right? But my great aunt would hook fun-sized chocolates on her tree everywhere. Yeah. And she had these double sort of twisted hooks. She'd pierce the top of the wrapper and hang all these, and it'd be like fudges and little flakes and I was like, oh my God, proper chocolates on here. And and we'd throw the presents around to whoever's was next. All the youngest kids would be like, James, and it'd be passed and thrown along like a shit parcel. Someone half opening it before it got to you, that's actually mine, leave it. But as you say, got some weird Casio mini synthesizer and stuff. But
batteries not included.
Yeah.
Listen, we're out of time.
No,
we're just about out of time.
This is what we're doing. 3 episodes of Christmas.
We haven't even looked in the Argos catalogue yet. But what we should do is save that for our VIPs.
Yes,
who are watching now. If you want to subscribe as our VIP subscribers. You get an extra 20 minutes or so every episode.
Your Brucey bonus.
Bits and pieces. Your Brucey bonus is coming up. So for those people, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We will carry on in just a moment. But if you've just dipped into this for the first time or whatever, we always say, love it if you would share this with one other person who's got perhaps a similar sense of humour.
Yeah. Have they?
But we're back in a couple of weeks. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. So until then, we will say we'll see you next Tuesday. Just before we do go, well done to this week's winner of the Mystery Sound of the 80s, Jonathan Brooks. We'll have another one for you to guess in the next edition. If you've enjoyed this one, do share it with just one person and maybe leave us a review on the website too. Right now, there's another 20 minutes of bonus content coming up for our VIP subscribers, plus extra episodes, random prize draws for tickets to James's Comedy Night, and exclusive Bring Back the 80s merch. All for less than the price of a cup of fancy coffee. Help us make this podcast better every episode by becoming one of our VIP subscribers. You can find out more at bringbackth80spodcast.com.
It's your Brucey bonus. Come on down.
And now we carry on.
We carry on for the people who are lovely. Thank you. Thank you.